because guess what? None of us are perfect. All of us are missing the mark as far as that quote unquote perfect being mark. We're all missing it. And it's okay because we were never meant to hit it. So we have to find ways to kind of let go of anger, let go of grief, let go of isolation, start to feel more included in your community, in your surroundings, in, just yourself, being okay with yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror every single day and saying, you know what, self, you may have certain flaws, or you may not be perfect, or you may not be what everybody wants, but you're what I want because you're who I am, and I can only be who I am. Now I can get better. Oh, every day is an opportunity to add to your arsenal, to empower yourself, to make yourself just a little bit better, a little bit happier, a little bit more at peace, and to have inner joy. Every day we have that opportunity. Every second we have that opportunity. So, we don't want to look at life and say, well, this is who I am and I'll never change. But this is who I am, and I love who I am right this very moment. And I know that tomorrow there's going to be one more thing, at least one more thing that's going to make me love myself just a little bit more. So every day is a growth experience. Every day is a milestone opportunity to grow better in ourselves. And the more we learn to love ourselves and grow better in ourselves and become the better person that we know that we can be, the better your life outlook is, the more positive things are. Because when you walk out and you do a random act of kindness, something as simple as holding the door for someone when you're coming in and out, or in or out of a restaurant or a store or whatever, holding the door for somebody is an act of kindness. And you never know how that small pebble of an act is going to affect the ocean of everyone connected to you. Because it's more like when you look at life, you have to look at it as if you're the spider and you have a web. And the bigger your web is, doesn't necessarily mean that you're actually sitting on every area of that web. That just means that you've rippled out and affected that many people that you probably will never meet or never know of or never even hear of. But you've affected them because you've done one thing nice, or you've done, something positive in the world. And it works the same way with negative. If you do something negative, you never know how it's going to affect other people, and people that you'll never, ever, ever see or acknowledge, because you don't even know that you've affected them one way or the other. So my whole mission for this show is to just throw pebbles out of kindness, of positive, of love, of inclusion, because I don't care white, black, orange, purple, green, blue, male, female, or other. It doesn't matter to me. As long as you're here on this earth and you're breathing and you can hear and you can respond and you have feelings, you're included. I don't see the world as you have to be one way in order to be accepted. I see it as everyone has their own demographics of who they are, of what they're able to accept, acknowledge, and see. I just want everyone to understand that everyone has a place on this planet. Everyone has a place in the world. And as long as you know that, number one, you're not going to be beautiful to everybody. Number two, not everybody's going to like you. Number three, not everybody's going to love you. Okay? And as long as we know this, we know that here's the other opposites of it. Number one, there will be people who like you. Doesn't have to be a lot, as long as you got people that like you. Okay? And most important, as long as you like yourself. Number two, even though everyone's not going to love you, there are people who do love you. Even people you don't even know love you. Okay? Because you might see a person and say, oh, that person is nice. They speak to me every day. They're kind. You don't know that if that person who just speaks to you every day, that does those random acts of kindness towards you on a regular basis, really loves you. Because those random acts of kindness is actually showing you that they have love for you. They might not be in love with you, but they have love for you. And as long as someone has love for you, you're good to go. Okay? And, as far as people hating you or whatever, that love is going to be there. That acceptance. You don't have to worry about the group of people you were told had to accept you. You worry about being accepted within your own. You worry about, not worry. I'm sorry. Wrong choice of words. I don't like that word worry because it's kind of negative. But you think about all of the people who accept you, who love you, who like you, who support you, who are there for you when you really need them. And when you're ready to be vulnerable, there might only be one person that you can be vulnerable with. Or there might be sprinkles of people who you can only show certain parts of your vulnerability to. But all of those people make up your community. All of those people make up your family, as I like to put it. Because those are the people who are there for you in your weakest as well as your strongest. And when you're in your weakest, they're there to pull you up, to hold you up until you can gain your strength back. And when you're the strongest, they're there to kind of guide you in a way to keep you grounded so that your strength doesn't become a weakness, but it becomes something that you can offer and share with other people to help other people become strong like you. So I like the idea of waking up every day and saying, thank you, God, for waking me up and giving me another opportunity to touch one more life or to grow one, just a little bit more, or to bring positive into one more day. That's what I enjoy doing. And that's what I actually do every day. I try to do something kind for someone else. Just because you can get paid for something doesn't mean that you have to get paid for something. Something simple as seeing a single mom, a young single mom, or even a single mom, period. Doesn't matter how old she is. If she's struggling to make ends meet, to take care of her child, to provide a stable home for that child, why not say, hey, this week, don't worry about paying for childcare. I'll take care of your kid for you. I'll keep an eye on your kid for you. Why not? I'm home, or I have the availability, or I'm able to do it. You can do it for a day. She doesn't have the day that she is actually off work. Go take care of yourself. Get some peace of mind for yourself. Decompress yourself, because things like that are a trigger for anxiety and then grows into depression and anger. And, it's a whole cycle, let's just say. So if you see an older person and they're in the grocery store, help them to the car. It takes nothing out of you to give 2 minutes to someone who might need that help and appreciate that help so much. You don't know until you do it. And guess what? When you do these things and you see the appreciation and you see the exhaling of the other person, of saying, wow, there's a person in the world that actually thought about me that didn't have to, that makes you feel good. And that does something for you. So it's kind of a twofold situation. And you really, really, really can benefit from just a smile. You never know who hasn't gotten one all day or all week for that matter. You never know how that smile is going to affect the next person. I remember the old Mel Gibson movie that was just redone by Tajari. I always say her name wrong. I'm so sorry, and I love her to death. What Women Want. And in the movie, there's this sub character in the movie who's there, and she's very quiet and she's very docile, and but in her mind, she's thinking negative. She's thinking, no one loves me. No one wants me. What's my purpose here? There's no reason for me to be here. Why don't I just go home tonight and just kill myself? And the saving grace was that Mel Gibson was able to finally hear her after God knows how long, because in the movie, it doesn't say how long she was a part of his team. But for that split moment, he heard her. And when he heard her, he made a random act of kindness towards her that helped her come through that low point in her mind, in her mental state, in her emotional state, to let her know, you are here, you are valued, you do have a place, and you would be sorely missed if you were not here. You don't know who you're going to affect when you do something just nice for somebody. The next time you go through a drive-through for breakfast, pay for the car's order in behind you. Just pay for the order. It doesn't matter, because you don't know if that person is in the ashtray or the console scraping up pennies to try to get that meal. You don't know. And you don't know if that same person has millions sitting in their bank account and they've been asked multiple times to help other people, and their mindset is, well, people never helped me. Why should I help someone else? But that one act of kindness by paying for their breakfast in the drive-thru could trigger them to say, wow, there really is a person, at least a person, who doesn't know who I am, who doesn't care what I have, who can do something just selfless for me. So let me go and help the next person. That's that ripple. That's that spider web. So I want to start with throwing that pebble into the ocean and start that ripple. And if you can join me, we can make a wave, and hopefully it can be a tsunami of love, acceptance, kindness, support, community, family, positive in this ocean and sea or however you want to put it, of crazy negative things that's happening in the world. Because that's the only thing that social media and the news focus on. They are only focused on that negative, because if they can make you afraid, they'll keep you coming to them for guidance instead of listening to your heart, hearing what that child is saying to you, even though they seem like they're just complaining. They're trying to tell you there's something that needs to be corrected. There's something that is in need. That child that sits quietly all the time that you don't hear from. You don't know what's going through that child's mind until you're paying attention to them. But as long as you're distracted by the chaos in the world, the social media and the news and, the movies with the shoot 'em up bang bangs and the crazy video games, you'll never hear that silent plea. So share this link to the show with those who you feel might benefit, because technically we can all benefit. And I want to hear from you. My email is lowfortunate, and I'll spell it out for you. My first name is spelled Low, L-O-E. The number 4, the word tune, T-U-N-E, and the number 8 at gmail.com. Okay. You can hit me on social media. Of course, I have a Facebook page that's Living Your Best Life without the I's, LVNG, Our Best Life. Put that out there. That's also on, Instagram,